What's up, everybody? Isaac here. Today we're just going to have a little chat while I work on the edge of a knife here that, I've shown before. And I'm not really going to work on it too much. It's decently sharp. I just want to try touching it up on the Spyderco triangle Sharpmaker. Here, I got it set up wrong for the first step. Triangle Sharpmaker. We use this triangle shaped ceramic rod. We start on like the tip of the triangle. I want to talk about these two great American knife companies, Randall made knives right here and Emerson Knives right here. This is their model CQC8. This is the Randall model 14. So let me stand up for this. It's easier to sharpen while I'm standing up on this. And these two companies have some similarities. Although if you look at these two knives, you don't really see it. It's not in the similarities are not in the looks. Randall only makes fixed blade knives, and Emerson Knives, while they make fixed blades, are really known for their folding knives. So Randall Knives, started by Bo Randall, custom knife maker from Orlando, Florida. He founded his company back in 1938 and rose to prominence in World War II, making combat knives. Not this one. This didn't come out till later, but he made his famous Model 1 and fighter, the all-purpose fighter it's called, and the Model 2, which is a large double-edged fighting knife. And they sold thousands of them during World War II. He couldn't even keep up with the amount of orders he got. American soldiers would send orders just address it to Knife Man, Orlando, Florida. And they would get the order. He actually had to outsource some of his knives to a shop in, I think it was Springfield, Massachusetts, to keep up with the demand. And of course, they had to make knives to Bo Randall's specifications and up to par with the quality that he would make them in his shop in Orlando, Florida. Some pretty famous people were known to get some Randall knives in World War II. Ronald Reagan, I believe, got a couple during his time in the armed forces. And James Gavin, pretty well-known soldier. Ronald Reagan is not really known for being a soldier. He's known for being the president 40 years after the war. But James Gavin, definitely a war hero, had a Randall knife, paratrooper. Let's switch over here. And Bo Randall was known for wanting to make tough knives for combat, something that's easily resharpenable in the field and won't break when you need it most. So that's what his philosophy was for World War II and onward. This particular knife, the Model 14, was made by Bo Randall in the mid to late 1950s. It was entered into some trials for the United States Marine Corps to potentially replace the K-bar knife as the Marine Corps, official issue knife. But, Randall is a custom knife maker. They hand forge all these blades. While this blade is great, they're not going to be able to keep up with production to supply a branch of the military. They don't have the production capacity for that, but soldiers still liked to order Randall knives to take into combat. Themselves, even though they were never issued. Now, fast forward many years later, when Ernest Emerson entered the knife world, he used some of the same construction and heat treat philosophies that Bo Randall did. So that Emerson knife I showed, that's meant for combat and for toughness and ease of resharpenability in the field. So neither of these knives are meant for maximum edge retention. They're meant to be tough, and they're meant to be easily resharpened in the field of battle, wherever you are. Toughness is a big factor in these blades, because while generally speaking, toughness means your blade's probably a bit softer. That's what adds the toughness. You're not going to see super tough knives with like a 62 Rockwell hardness. Now that has changed a little bit with steels like Magna Cut, but those weren't around when these knives were created. Now, as far as I know, Randall is still making these knives in the same steel they have since World War II. I think it's an 01 tool steel. Emerson Knives uses 154 cm stainless steel. They have started using Magna Cut in some newer models. So we'll see what the future holds there. Now, the reason these two companies focus on toughness over edge retention is because a dull knife is still a knife. You just got to sharpen it. Whereas a broken knife is just a worthless hunk of metal. So if your knife breaks because it's too hard, meant for maximum edge retention, you're out of luck. You're up a creek, so to say. Whereas, you know, if this knife is made of extra tough steel, you're using it hard, and it gets dull. Well, that is a relatively simple fix. You just sharpen it. And there's plenty of pocket-sized knife sharpeners on the market today. Randall Knives even come with a little holding stone here in this front pouch. Show you so that you have it on you whenever you have your knife. And everybody's preferences in knives are different, but I tend to take this type of philosophy to heart. I think I would rather have a knife that just needs a sharpening over a knife that is broken. Now, many of you may be thinking, you know, I'm just a armchair quarterback here. You know, what would I ever need a knife that hard use for, and all that? And the truth of the matter is, you know, I don't. I'm just a dude who likes knives. But I like my knives that much where if I want or need to use them, I want to know that I can depend on them. Now, I do use my knives. I'm just not like I'm not a professional soldier or adventurer guide or anything of that sort. I'm just your average Joe. Now, I do like to venture into the outdoors. Don't get out as much as I would prefer, but, you know, always take a reliable knife or two with me, that's for sure. Now, this Randall knife, they recommend sharpening at a 20-degree angle, and that's exactly what this Spyderco Sharpmaker does with these guides here. Now, Emerson knives are different. They only sharpen an edge on one side of the blade, and they give it a steeper grind that is between 25 and 30 degrees on that edge. So you get a thicker edge for some added toughness and durability there as well. And to add to that ease of sharpenability in the field, well, you only got to worry about sharpening one side of your blade. Now, Randall Knives, they offer them in a stainless steel option as well, if you don't want to get carbon steel for less maintenance. And maintenance meaning rust prevention. So this blade has a coat of this product over here, Wicked Wax on it. I'm going to put a little more on, I think, um, around the brass handle. It was starting to get a little of that green stuff, verdigris, on it, and definitely don't want that, any type of corrosion. So I may put that around the guard. The blade's still good. They do recommend you don't store these knives in the sheath, but I do, because yeah, I know I'm cut off talking to you now. Wanted to have it angled lower to show you the knife while I was sharpening it, but now that we're just talking and putting this away, we'll put this, we'll angle it up so you can see my face and read my lips or whatever. And I put a piece of painter's tape to hold those rods in. My Spyderco sharpener. Hopefully that's got a decent edge on it now. Strop it up here. Maybe angle back down now so you can see that. So if you want to be the ultimate combat knife aficionado of readiness, you need to get a Randall and an Emerson. Now we'll strap this Emerson up here too while we're at it and have the strap out. And you do want to strap the back side of this knife that doesn't have an edge as well, to get off any type of burrs that may be there, because they do form when you sharpen your knife. Let's see here. I got too much crap around here. Piece of paper, see how, if we're sharp. Yeah, Emerson is good to go. Again, that's the model CQC 8. Very popular combat folding knife. CQC, of course, stands for close quarters combat. Let's see if the Randall can cut. Nope. There we go. Sort of. I think it's good enough. I mean, it shaves hair off my arm plenty. A little more strapping on that edge. But yeah, if you're looking for tough combat knives, Randall and Emerson is where it's at. Go for a Randall fixed blade like this Model 14. It's definitely my favorite Randall model. That's why I bought it. The Model 1 is more famous. They probably make more. Whoa! I'm sure they make more Model 1s than anything, even to this day. Now, Randall makes some sporting knives, you know, hunting knives as well. And some larger Bowie knives. but they're most famous for their combat knives like this Model 14 and the Model 1. The Model 1 you can get in a 6, 7, or 8-inch blade. This is 7.5. And really, 7.5 is it's a pretty awesome blade length. I like the 7-inch blade. Anything over than that, it gets a bit unwieldy. And more difficult to carry. All right, I think that knife is good to go. Put a little wicked wax on that brass guard. Doesn't need too much. Yeah, I was saying earlier, you're not supposed to store these in the sheath. It's not recommended by the Randalls. But yeah, I don't really have a place to keep it, not in the sheath. I don't want to just let it sit around somewhere. You know, I don't want my son to just reach up and grab it, or if my little niece is over, don't want it to just like fall on their head or something like that. So I keep it in the sheath, and it's been in there for over a year that I've had this knife, and it doesn't have any rust patina from being in there because I keep this wax on it. Now if I didn't, I'm sure it would be covered in that green verdigris stuff. But there you have it, guys. Two of the greatest American-made combat knife companies, Randall Knives, Emerson Knives. They are fantastic. They are expensive. They're not cheap knives, especially Randall. Randall's expensive because the demand is so high, they can't keep up. If you go to order a knife direct from the Randall website, you're going to wait 6 years. 6 years to get the knife you order. So to, the secondary market, that's how I got this. I didn't order this direct from Randall and wait for 6 years. Secondary market, the prices go up, 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 because nobody wants to wait 6 years to get a knife. So, but if you can get one, I think you'll treasure it and love this knife. Same with your Emerson CQC8 is a great model. Combat proven, both of these right here. Take it easy, guys. We'll see ya on the next video.